Now, in this session, I am going to come the second to Michelle, because Michelle's been a champion and a lead champion, as indeed, Andrew, you have. And so I'm going to get an insight about, how does it feel to be given that responsibility by a business or by your line manager or whoever did it to be a champion? I'm also going to ask 3 questions of everyone on this call to self-reflect that, okay, what are you going to do, basically? We'll come to those 3 questions later. So, Michelle, just on reflection, you were a champion a few years ago. You and I worked together first on a program. Just reflect, what are your insights about being a champion?
I think the most impactful thing for me being a champion was seeing how cross-functionally it really changed the business. And not only between departments, between production, sales, marketing, but between different levels of the business. The program really empowered people of all levels within the business to have a voice, to be leaders, to share their passion and their experience with their peers and with people up and down the chain in the company. I think it's a very unique program that allows a more junior member of your organization to get coaching and mentoring from people that they would not have been able to interact with if they had not been a part of this program. In that same regard, it's also inspiring for others to see their peers be leaders at every level of the business. And all that being said, I think it really showed me that it can break down certain silos that I think we all tend to have in our businesses and make people more open to speaking with each other and really empowering people to share their passion with their peers.
That's awesome. I'm definitely going to come to you, Andrew, on this, because in the organization where you are champion and lead champion, this idea of cross-functional, I think it was called customer collaboration workshops, incredibly impactful, exactly as you've just said, Michelle. I'll stay with you, Michelle, because tell me about how you felt as a champion. And that could be right at the very start. You know, how did it feel to be given that opportunity?
Mm-hmm. Well, at the beginning of the program, nobody actually really was 100% clear on what being a champion was. So, and it's that way on purpose. It's to spark interest and to let people bring their own ideas into the program. So I was a bit trepidatious at first, to be perfectly honest with you. Because developing the program and knowing that I was going to share it with the broader organization, it's a lot of responsibility. But being able to help design the program, use the company's language, do it in a way that all of us in the room understood, we all really were proud of what we had done. And I think we wanted to make sure that we didn't have people doing this. Right? We wanted to be engaging and share our passion for what we were bringing to the table with everyone. So after the first session with the company, it was incredibly empowering. And as you know, Mark, directly after that first session, I pulled you aside and said, I want more of this.
I remember
and that, yes, in the lobby of the hotel, I was like, I want more of this.
You're not leaving, Mark, until we've discussed this more. It was cool.
Exactly. And you had to catch a flight and yeah. Anyway, but that started my journey to becoming a lead champion, was that I realized that I enjoyed sharing techniques and teaching people so much that I created a path for myself to end up leading the program for the United States for the company.
Yeah, you became a head champion effectively, didn't you? With the responsibility for the whole of the US and develop new champions, all of that. So it's really cool.
Yes.
On reflection, and if you could wind the clock back and do some things again differently, as probably as a lead champion, actually, when you were in that bigger role, what in hindsight would you share with the rest of us in terms of getting things right or getting things wrong?
Yeah. So hopefully I did a lot of things right. But I think Something that I would change as a lead champion is that I would stay more engaged with the most upper echelons of the company, with the C-suite, to make sure that the leaders of the company understood the importance of the program, that they were continuing to budget for the program, and that they were cascading the program down through all levels of the business. And just staying engaged with those folks, not being afraid to email them, to pick up the phone and talk to them, and make sure that it stayed integrated throughout the company's culture.
Yeah, and classically, because I was involved, what I saw from the outside in was this, oh, Michelle's doing that. So it, to an extent, and I don't want it to sound so critical, but if I'm one of the leaders, I go, oh, I don't have to do anything. Michelle's covered it. And of course you do. You have to still be a sponsor. You have to role model. You have to encourage. You have to invest, because every year when you were in that role, you had to go for budget. And it was always a tough call and things like that. So this is really important. How, as a leader now, so you're in a different business now. You cover a number of the states in the US.
Yes.
As a leader, how are your behaviors as a leader shaped by what you learned as a champion?
I think the level of confidence that I have when I'm speaking to anyone in any function of any business, presentation skills, comfort level with my own expertise and myself, and being able to share that with others has been hugely impactful. In my life, one of the things that I use quite often in the business that I'm in now is high gain questions. I think that has been the most impactful module that is a part of this program that I use not only in my professional life, but in my personal life with friends and in coaching and mentoring experiences as well.
Thank you. One of the things I've seen in you, and I think it's been fed back to you by some of the leaders in your current business, is that when you stand up in front of a big audience, you hold that audience. You kind of come to life. So again, that's another reflection, isn't it? That you have a presence at a different level now.
Yes, awesome. I was never able to do that before. So, and Amanda, thank you for helping me with that as well. So
that's awesome. That's